Both Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are in the hospital on the same day. Seriously. And they're both saying they're at the hospital for dental work. Seriously. So late last night around 11 p.m., Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, was rushed to a hospital. No explanation when it was uncovered that he was rushed to the hospital. His team leaked to their regime media in Israel that it was because of a dental visit and he had to have some emergency dental work. We'll dig into it. I'll show you what went down there. At the same time, Donald Trump going to the hospital today. He's going to Walter Reed. What's Trump's team saying about this visit? They say, well, it's a physical and he's having major dental work done. Now, early in May, they said he had dental work being done in Florida when he was by his golf club there. And then back in January, he said that he was having dental work done as well when he kind of mysteriously disappeared. So lots of dental work happening where both Netanyahu and Trump are being swept away apparently to hospitals, and they're both apparently covering up their declining health. I mean, we know that Netanyahu had cancer, and Netanyahu's prognosis by all accounts, and again, my opinion, but by the accounts, was not looking good. There seems to be a lot of cover-up taking place there. And the same way we're asking questions here in the United States about our authoritarian here, the way they're saying that about their authoritarian Israel, there's a massive cover-up seemingly here in the United States about Donald Trump's declining cognitive and physical condition. And both Netanyahu and Trump's cover-ups appear to be coming to light on the exact same day. I think there's a name for that. So first, let's talk about Netanyahu. So the news broke late last night that Prime Minister Netanyahu was currently at the Hadassah Medical Center in Jerusalem. His office, the Prime Minister office, said he was undergoing dental treatment around 11 p.m. at night. Here's how the Times of Israel reported it. Netanyahu taken to a Jerusalem hospital. His office says it's for dental work. Prime Minister's health has become a major focus after revelation of a cancer diagnosis, criticism of medical information being withheld from the public. I'll pause there because I want to go through what's going on in Israel. But doesn't it seem that both of these authoritarians want to leave their last destructive mark by basically destroying the entire world during their final days? Don't you have an opinion that at least it seems that that could be what both of them, are doing? They've both been deranged their entire life, but there seems to be this kind of extra recognition of mortality and leaving their marks in the most destructive and catastrophic way possible. Because when I read the story about Netanyahu, it basically reads like Trump's situation right now. Prime Minister Netanyahu taken to the Hadassah Medical Center Monday evening around 11 p.m., his office said, adding that the Prime Minister was receiving unspecified dental treatment. Sure, the Prime Minister's office, everything these guys say are lies, like literally everything. The Prime Minister's office issued the statement after Hebrew media reported that he had been taken to the hospital. The 76-year-old's health has become a major focus after several incidents that exposed him to criticism over the withholding of medical information from the public. They have led to considerable speculation among many in Israel about the Prime Minister's overall health. Last month, Netanyahu revealed in a lengthy social media post that he had recently undergone successful radiation treatment at Hadassah for a malignant tumor in his prostate, but had held off on informing the public, claiming Iran would have used the information to spread propaganda against Israel in the midst of the recent war. So the same way Netanyahu and Trump trade kind of war crime strategies, do they also share the let's blame it that we're going to a dental office strategy and just think people are so stupid, and they each have their regime media? Trump has his Fox regime media. Israel has their regime media that nobody will question it. Well, guess what? We question it here at the MeidasTouch network. It goes on to say, Prime Minister Netanyahu did not specify when he was diagnosed, when he began treatment, or when treatment had ended. Netanyahu's announcement was accompanied by the release of his annual health report, along with an additional document on his cancer diagnosis and treatment, though the report consisted of 5 vague bullet points covering half a page and did not even say what year it covered. Sound familiar? How about Donald Trump's April 2025 report, where they said his health is evidenced by the fact that he's a good golfer who wins many golf championships at his courses. By the way, Trump cheats at all of his golf championships and just gives himself W's, gives himself wins when he's actually losing. Oh, and then they covered up that Donald Trump was getting an MRI by just saying advanced imaging, and then lied about the MRI and then said it was a CT scan. Remember that whole lie back in October and December of 2025? This goes on to say, neither document from Netanyahu bore a hospital logo or any indication that they were formal medical statements. Sound familiar? Netanyahu also had a pacemaker implanted in July 2023, a hernia surgery in March 2024, and a prostate removal surgery in December 2024 as well. It's Netanyahu. Let's take a look at Trump's schedule today. He's at Walter Reed for most of the day. He'll arrive at Walter Reed early in this morning. They claim that he will be greeting service members and that's why he's going to be spending a lot of time there. Then they say he's going to be doing dental work. Here's the statement back on May 11, 2026 from the Trump propagandist in the White House. Donald Trump will visit Walter Reed National Military Medical Center on May 26 for his annual dental and medical evaluations and to visit with the men and women of the military. This will include the president's routine annual dental and medical assessments as part of his regular preventative health care. The president will also spend time with service members and staff at Walter Reed in recognition of their service, professionalism, and dedication to the nation. Additional details regarding the president's schedule will be released at a later date. Note, January 10th, 2026, Donald Trump, good morning from Palm Beach. This was the press pool. The motorcade is rolling from Mar-a-Lago at 7:45 a.m. From the White House, President Trump is going to a scheduled dental appointment at his local dentist in Florida, January 10th, 2026. How about Saturday, May 2nd, 2026? White House travel pool with POTUS, going to dentist. POTUS motorcade arrived at nearby office park from the White House. On background from the White House, President Trump is going to a scheduled dental appointment at his local dentist in Florida. Okay, red flags galore right there. So let me just talk about Trump in the past 12 hours. So yesterday at the Memorial Day event where Donald Trump mocked our service members and tried to make jokes about how there's no one named Donald at the Arlington Cemetery, which was just disgusting. And then Donald Trump mocked our country by calling Democrats Democrats and then started attacking former President Obama and Biden and making deranged social media posts while also building a UFC stadium in front of the White House and then looking at the pillars of the White House, because Trump's latest is that he wants to destroy the White House pillars and replace them with Corinthian golden pillars. That's what he wants to do. Corinthian pillars.
We've got some big news that is blowing my mind that it's not getting nearly enough attention. So right now, more than 60% of the United States is experiencing drought conditions, and more than 20% of the country is in extreme drought. Honestly, have you heard about this anywhere? Front page headlines, leading the nightly news? 'Cause it seems like a pretty big deal to me, is all I'm saying. According to climatologists, this is one of the most severe and widespread drought events that we have seen in decades. The main culprit is an unusual La Nina pattern, which shifted storm tracks farther north and left huge parts of the country, especially the south, southeast, and Rocky Mountain regions, without the rainfall that they depend on. And here's the critical climate story in all this. Rising global temperatures are making this drought even worse. Hotter air pulls more moisture out of the soil and vegetation, intensifying dry conditions and putting enormous stress on crops, water supplies, and ecosystems. Colorado, Georgia, and Florida are among the hardest hit states right now, with some areas facing exceptional drought, and relief may not come anytime soon. Experts say that meaningful improvement is unlikely until late summer or even next winter, when a potentially historic El Nino could shift weather patterns in the opposite direction. So the Trump administration can ignore climate change all they want. Climate change sure is not ignoring us, and we need to make sure that we are keeping these issues front and center. That's it for this report. Now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this news, on climate issues, and on our climate coverage like this? There's so much chaos right now that they're trying to drown out what may be the most important issue of our time. So use your voice and speak out in the comments below. I'll be reading them. Okay, Ben, back to you.
But while Donald Trump was at the events yesterday on Memorial Day, he couldn't just watch him try to stand still. I'm only going to show about 10 seconds of this, but he couldn't even stand still. He was wobbling back and forth, wobbling. Watch this. This is someone deeply ill, in my opinion. You remember, he's got the rotting hands. He's got the neck thing. He can't walk in straight lines. He can't complete sentences. He keeps bragging about cognitive exams. He gives speeches and he just will get up to the microphone and then he'll go, I mean, this is someone physically and cognitively, in my opinion, collapsing before our eyes. And I'm giving you my opinion. This video is my opinion speech protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Watch Donald Trump wobbling here. Here, play this clip. Then, when speeches were taking place, Donald Trump fell asleep, so you can see for yourself.
This day began as Decoration Day, when widows and orphans and other mourners placed flowers and ribbons on some 20.
And here he is bragging about taking cognitive exams at a speech and recognizing the difference between a bear, a snake, and a horse. Let's play this clip.
Them pretty hard. By the time you get to the end, there are not a lot of people in the room can get them, believe me. I said, well, it will be public, won't it? It'll be embarrassment, but let's do it. This was in my first term. I took it and I aced it. And they had tough questions. So the first question was, you have a bear, a snake, an elephant, and a horse. Name the horse. That's the horse.
Also, oddly, he was making posts yesterday that says that the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool is taller than the World Trade Center. I don't even understand the comparison. A mountain is bigger than a building. The moon is bigger than a basketball. What are you even trying to say there? And the way that Israel has Israel regime media, right, that covers up for Netanyahu, it's a dental visit, right? You then have regime media in the United States and Fox saying it's perfectly normal that Donald Trump is getting these cognitive exams and getting all of these MRIs and advanced imaging. This is Fox regime media where they bring on these individuals who try to act like this is all normal and gaslight us. But remember, it's regime media propaganda, regime media propaganda, regime media propaganda. Here, let's play this clip right here.
They're going, oh, why is he having an MRI? Well, because that's, by the way, what executives do now. They have MRIs of the heart. Dr. Fuster at Sinai is doing them on a lot of people as screening tests. And he had some leg swelling. They went after that. So he had an MRI. Looks normal. But Biden, by comparison, was not normal. He had medical problems. He had prostate cancer. He had cognitive problems.
Oh, and then do you remember back on October 10th, 2025, where Donald Trump did another doctor's appointment, and then they said that he successfully completed a follow-up evaluation at Walter Reed. Remember, first he had it April 2025, then he had in October 2025, and they said he completed a scheduled follow-up evaluation. The visit was part of his ongoing health maintenance plan and included advanced imaging, laboratory testing, and preventative health assessments conducted by a multidisciplinary team of specialists. All right, well, Caroline Levitt, want to describe what Trump was doing on October of 2025? Here's what Caroline Levitt said back then. Play this clip.
You recently said you'd check with President Trump about why he needs to get an MRI on his recent trip to Walter Reed. Do you have any more detail on that?
I do, and I'm glad you asked. As stated in the memo provided on October 10th, President Trump received advanced imaging at Walter Reed Medical Center as part of his routine physical examination. The full results were reviewed by attending radiologists and consultants, and all agreed that President Trump remains in exceptional physical health, which I know all of you will see with your own eyes later this evening. morning when he opens up his dinner to the press, and perhaps you will see him when he signs the bill to reopen the federal government. So stay tuned on plans for that. Thank you, everyone.
And here's what Donald Trump was saying at that time. So you can hear what Donald Trump had to say about his MRIs and what he was doing. Here, play this clip.
That's why you needed to get an MRI. I understand that the results were good, but what was it for?
Because it's part of my physical. Getting an MRI is very standard. Well, you think I shouldn't have it? Other people get it.
Typically, an MRI
I had an
is like a
MRI.
specific part of your body.
Here's what the story is. I had an MRI. The doctor said it was the best result he has ever seen as a doctor. That's it. But I had an MRI as part of my standard yearly, or I think they do it every 2 years, but I have the physical every year. And the result was outstanding.
Was it your brain?
Did you
or
know?
your heart?
I have no idea what they analyzed, but whatever they analyzed it well, and they said that I had as good a result as they've ever seen.
And then Trump was asked, remember, what body part was it of? Remember what Donald Trump said? Play this clip.
They asked about my MRI. MRIs are very,
Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI records.
Will you tell us what it was
Governor
for?
Walz, you mean the incompetent Governor Walz? So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect.
What were they
It's like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So if you want to hear about it, or if you want to release it, do you want to have it released?
Yes,
News Nation, failing News Nation.
Oh, sorry, we're not failing.
News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it.
Yes, please. Can you tell us what they were looking at?
For what, releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain, because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. You too.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Just so you have an understanding of what they're saying internationally about this, here's what George Galloway had to say. Let's play it.
The truth is, Donald Trump is both in rapid cognitive decline, perhaps in dementia, at the same time as retaining some of the low cunning of the criminal real estate developer in New York City that was under the wing of Roy Cohn. And that combination is far more toxic than any alcoholic.
And then finally, I think Rosie O'Donnell just made a video that sums it up perfectly. Here's what Rosie O'Donnell had to say. Play this clip.
Never wanted to think about that. Still don't want to think about that. But with you-know-who in the White House, it's hard not to think about that because he's crazy enough to do it. That frontal temporal lobe dementia is coming in fierce, people. Have you been paying attention to what he's been saying? Watching him sleep? Listening to him scream curses and belittle reporters? This guy? Time to do something, America, but I think we all know that by now. And for the ones that don't know that, got to get out of that cult. I saw a documentary about a cult. It's on Netflix. Guy, handsome, African-American, from the States, goes to Costa Rica and starts a cult. And of course, it all turns bad because cults are horrible. And a lot of times, and most times, the people in them don't even know they're in them. And when they get out, they need help because they realize they were fooled on a massive scale. They were lied to. They were duped. They believed in untruths. And it's a hard thing to rectify that you allowed yourself to be so gullible, you know. But I don't blame the people because everyone's just looking to belong, right? And you guys were fed a lie on that show, The Apprentice, that he was some successful businessman, and he never was. Never was. Just a demented rich kid who has done nothing but hurt the people around him and the nation and the world.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 7 million subscribers. We appreciate you. Double check. You may think that you're subscribed, but make sure you are. Turn notifications on. Thanks for watching. New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.